Not all niches and offers in the high ticket space are made equal. Where you have success is largely dependent on what you sell, and some niches are just superior to others. Your personality also plays a big part. Some offers will have you making 20 grand a month speaking to actual qualified leads, while others will have you grinding through objections all day for $300 a sale. So today I'm gonna break down every type of niche in the high ticket space so you know exactly what is worth putting your time into, again, depending on your personality, and you don't end up wasting a bunch of time and energy in the wrong place. So let's dive in. Now, before we actually get into this list, something to understand is what actually separates a good niche or a good type of offer from a bad one. So there's a couple things. First is the commission size and how much you're actually taking home. Anywhere from $500-600 on the low end to $1,000 a sale plus, right? Like more than 1,000 is ideal. If you are making less than $500-600 a sale, you are going to be grinding on this offer to barely make shit, or it's gonna be a big volume game. The second one is gonna be lead quality, and that's dependent on the marketing and how the marketing is positioned. Are these people coming in because maybe they just bought something low ticket? Are these people coming in on a complete bait and switch and they don't even know it's a sales call? Are they coming in because they're primed and they know it's a sales call and they know there's an opportunity to buy something? How they show up to the call is gonna make a difference. Even if you're the best closer in the world, the shit matters. And then longevity. Is the market growing or is it something that's dying? If you're trying to sell NFT coaching program in 2026, it's probably not gonna work. And the last thing, which I keep talking about personality, is alignment. Can you actually show up to 8 to 10 hours a day speaking about this topic, speaking about this offer? Is there any type of personal alignment with you and the offer? Because even if it checks all the other boxes, if this isn't here, you're not gonna last because you're gonna get burned out. Like some of the most money that I made was in a complete, like super niche type of offer. It was life coaching to doctors, female doctors who are burned out. I was very aligned with that though, so I could talk about it for hours and hours a day. Okay, so first we're gonna start with B2B, right? Business to business. This is ultimately either coaching for business owners or like a literal service, like B2B lead gen, marketing, selling done for you services. I'm gonna put B2B all the way up here. Right, I'm gonna put it on S tier for a couple reasons. A, you learn a lot of business acumen when you sell B2B. And 2, it's a lot more intelligent conversations that you're having. 3, typically there's a lot of recurring. Typically the deal sizes are bigger. And right now in this space, there is so much demand for a good B2B closer. Like I like to look at B2B as being a business doctor. Like you're sitting down, it's not a super emotional conversation. You're sitting down and understanding what is fucking this person's business. What is the literal problem? And then you just position yourself as the best thing to be able to solve that problem. And it just makes complete sense. Like if you can get good at B2B, you will never not have a job. If you can get good at sales in general, you're never gonna not have a job, but this is key. Highly recommend B2B. The next type of offer that I will honestly I'll put right below B2B is BizOpp. This is where I've made a lot of my money in this space. I'll put that at A. BizOpp is business opportunity, for those you don't know. And this is ultimately selling someone the ability to be able to make money in some way. It could be making money publishing ebooks, selling, making a faceless YouTube channel, e-com, whatever it is. These can be really good, but it depends. Big part of this is the marketing and how primed these people are coming in and if these people have the ability to actually move forward. But I'll say BizOpp will get you really, really good at sales. You're ultimately helping people make what is a pretty life-changing decision for them. Like they're making the decision of going from making decisions like an employee to a business owner. So you're gonna deal with a lot of fear, you're gonna deal with a lot of uncertainty, you're gonna deal with a lot of excuses. And if you can get good at selling this, almost every other industry is gonna be much, much easier. In all the BizOps that I've sold, I've seen people come and go and drop like flies. Because it's not easy, but once you get it, like this makes you dangerous in any other realm. Like I highly suggest that everybody at some point sells BizOpp. The next one we're gonna go with is lifestyle and luxury. I'm gonna put this all the way at the bottom. This is like relocation services or like travel packages. And the thing about this is, yes, people buy that stuff and yes, it can sell, but it's hard to create real urgency with stuff like that because it's kind of a luxurious thing to get, right? It's a nice to have versus B2B, like this person has a problem that their business needs solving, right? Or they're gonna continue losing money. Or BizOpp, like this person wants to make a life transition, right? But when we look at lifestyle and luxury, like there's offers out there that are getting big. It's like helping people relocate to different countries. And of all the reps that I've coached on these kinds of offers, who I've advised to leave and get better offers, the top performer on their team is rarely ever making more than 10 grand a month. There was this one girl who was on an offer like this and the top rep was making 10 grand a month and she'd been there for 2 years. And a lot of these deals are not gonna happen on the first call because there's just so much background shit that needs to happen. There's like, they need to find schools, they need to get paperwork for visas. I would not sell this. I'd stay away from this personally. The next one we'll do is health and wellness. I'll put this like right below BizOpp, and The reason I say that, well, first of all, health and fitness meaning like fitness coaching, one-on-one online coaching, like helping people build muscle, lose weight, or like functional medicine, mental health. The reason I put that here is because there's a lot of urgency that these people have, or they should have, to being able to solve problems like that. The thing is though, these are typically like lower end packages that are anywhere from like 3 to 4K. Now there are some out there that are 5K, 6K, 10K. Now, there's some fitness packages that are like 25 grand, but for the most part, they're anywhere from like 3 to 4 grand. And if you really think about it, when it comes to fitness, you're selling someone the opportunity to have a lot of fucking pain and to work really hard and to pay for it. And then at the end of it, you're really only making like $300 to $400 a sale, unless you're on like 15% where maybe you'll be able to make more. I think you have to be a very particular type of person to sell fitness. Like you have to be pretty non-judgmental to like fat people and shit. Ideally, you have to have gone through some kind of transformation when it comes to fitness yourself. There has to be alignment. And people who are in the market for these kinds of programs typically are very, very deep in their story as to why they look the way they are. And so there's a lot of unlearning that you have to help them do on the call. So that's why I put it in the middle. The next one we're gonna go with is financial services. I'll put financial services at the same place as health and wellness. My boy Evan Brown, shout out to Evan, crushes it selling to financial advisors. Now the thing is, these are very A-type prospects. These are very successful, very egotistical type of people. Evan is sharp and he's a dog. And the problem is most reps just don't have the level of dog that Evan has in him. And so most people who try to sell this type of thing will get completely walked all over, especially if you're brand new. I'd suggest to stay far away from something like this if you're brand new. It's also a very analytical sale too. Like you have to be able to understand numbers, understand how to break down all the analytics of their situation. And also you have to be able to ask your questions and phrase your questions in a way that like you don't sound completely retarded, because these are smart people. Evan also gets a lot of his sales on the second call. I think he said about 30% of his calls are one call closes. And Evan's a follow-up dog. So I personally despise follow-up. I hate follow-up. I hate chasing people down. And so if you're anything like me and you despise follow-up and chasing people down, this probably would not be the best fit for you. Again, and if you're new, like, or if you're timid. If you're a timid person, if you're kind of easy to push over, just be honest with yourself, right? It's all good. Be honest with yourself. If you know that you're a very timid person, I'd stay away from this at least until you could start to build a little bit of strength in your presence, right? By the way, if you're watching this and trying to figure out which of these niches are the right fit for you specifically, that's one of the first things that I help my students with. Getting placed on the right offer that aligns with your strengths, your background, what you value, and then also your income goals. So if you need help getting placed on the right offer and then getting equipped with the skill set to be a top performer on that offer, hit the first link in the description here. Apply to work with me directly one-on-one. You're gonna speak to either me or my team. We're gonna see if this shit makes sense for you. But let's keep going. So the next one we're gonna go with is life coaching and personal development. I'm putting this at the top here because there's so many different little niche offers that are in this realm of lifestyle and personal development. And if you can get good at this, the opportunities to sell are endless, and you don't need to rely on this huge organic presence or this huge name if you can be able to sell this. There's dating coaching, there's marriage coaching, there's what I said earlier about coaching for doctors who are burned out, there's coaching to help people stop watching porn, there's coaching to help people stop drinking alcohol, or at least excessively. There are so many niches within this. And there's also not much competition in these kinds of offers because everyone wants to sell BizOpp, everyone wants to sell fitness, right? Everyone wants to sell all this other stuff, and these kinds of things are crowded, but these types of roles are typically starving for good closers. I also think that this really helps develop your emotional intelligence and overall helps you become an animal closer because you're selling something that doesn't have a financial ROI, which means you need to be able to build the ROI in a different way. It's not as simple as like a marketing agency, you know, you give us $3, we're gonna give you 10, right? A BizOpp, you pay us, we're gonna teach you this business model and hold your hand until you're successful with it. This is like, we're gonna help you stop watching porn, right? We're gonna help you stop drinking. And there isn't directly a dollar amount tied to that, but I would highly suggest that you guys consider selling something in the personal development world. And then the last one, if you know me, you know how I feel about real estate investing offers. I'm gonna put that at the bottom. The reason I put that at the bottom is because just the bigger picture, real estate investing offers typically attract the worst leads. There's a reel my boy Blake Maddox has where I'll let it play, but he's like, are you broke? I mean, broke as fuck, like super broke. I'm talking directly to you.
The fastest way to, 3 things I wish I would have known. If you were absolutely broke as fuck, yeah, broke as fuck, like you barely are making bills every single month and you wanted to make money online, If that's you, listen up.
Right? That's pretty much the marketing for all those real estate offers. Typically, in order to start real estate, you need to have money, and then you also need to have decent credit. And the people who are interested in real estate have neither of those things. It's one of the oldest ways to make money, and this type of offer will have you banging your head against the wall. These types of offers also typically don't really last long. Like, everybody knows someone who has been saying that they want to get into real estate for the last 20 years. There's a lot of mental jujitsu that you're gonna have to do with offers like this. But it's possible. Like my boy Colton, who is making like 10 grand a month consistently right now, my client, he sells real estate investing. He helps people get into wholesale. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but again, there's a lot of mental jiu-jitsu that's gonna have to go with it, and the stability on those kinds of offers typically is not there, and the lead quality is typically shit. So now you know the top niches from top to bottom in the high ticket sales space. And what I'll say before I end this, I'm gonna leave you with this, is the niche is what gets you through the door. The offers will get you through the door. It's obviously the first step, but the skill set is what keeps you there. A skilled closer on an average offer will always outperform an average closer on a great offer. So if you don't want to depend on the offer and depend on marketing, depend on all these things that are outside of your control, invest into your ability to sell. A, you're gonna be in demand. B, you know that you can come in there and crank out some cash on completely cold traffic, people who just found the company 2 days ago. It's a really good sense of security to have. And the last thing is alignment matters more than most people would admit. Like the best niche for you specifically is one that you can genuinely show up with conviction and want to talk about every single day. I'm not saying you have to be fucking jumping through the walls about it, but look at your own story. Look at the transformations you've gone through. Look at the adversity that you faced. Because the overlap between where you've been and where the prospect sitting in front of you is right now is where your conviction lives. So do not overlook alignment. So I hope you enjoyed that. When it comes to picking an offer, choose wisely. If you need help getting placed on the right offer and the skill set to be able to last on that offer, I'm getting 50 plus inbound roles per week from my reps to be able to choose from, and the one-on-one coaching for them to be able to sustain that offer. So if you're tired of trying to figure this out on your own, hit the first link in the description, speak to either me or my team. We're gonna see if this is a fit for you. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.